In the previous video, I showed you how to add an actuals column, a budget column, and a forecast column. Now, let's explore how to add an equation column. Select Add Columns, and then choose Equation. You can name your equation anything that you would like. You can also choose the equation format. This can be a number, amount, percentage, days, times, or a ratio. And then you can toggle on or off Use Row Formula. What this means is that if you have equations in your layout as rows, these will not be affected by equation columns. However, if you toggle this off, your equation column will override your row formula. And then you have options to include either columns or accounts into your equation. So what this means, you can add several columns to your build P&L and use them all in an equation, or you can select a column from your build P&L from which you will pull the respective categories. And then you can select which data from that category you would like to use in your formula. Now, let's create an actual versus budget column. I want this to be in an amount, and the formula will be my actuals column less my budgets column. And then I can select Add Column. Now you can see that my budget exceeded my actuals for this period. Let's add another column where we use accounts and columns in the same formula. This column will be a percentage variance over sales, and I would want that to be in a percentage. So now we can take our variance column, or actuals versus budget column, and divide that by my sales account. So I would like to use my actual sales, select sales as the category, and then select sales. And now select Add. Now I can see that my percentage variance over sales was 2.7%. Next, let's look at the notes column. You can only rename your notes column. All the functionalities will be available after we added this column. You now have the option to add notes to your build P&L. So if I wanted to add a note on total sales, I can just select this plus sign, and then you have a blank slate. So you can create your own note by typing, using tables, formatting the tables, adding a paragraph, bullet points, or anything else that you need. But you can also go to the preset tables and select a table from our long list of preset tables. So in this case, I will choose revenue. As you can see, this is a pre-populated table pulling from SIFT, but this is not connected to any account or data, so you would have to update this manually and keep it up to date. You can always choose to either delete a column or a row by standing where you want to delete and then selecting Remove Row. You can also add additional text or any important information to your note and then select Add. Now a numbering will be assigned to that specific note, and if you scroll down to the end of your build P&L, your note will appear at the bottom. You can always edit or delete this at a later stage. The next type of column that we can add is a journal column. Now, please note this is only journals that you've processed in your entity, and it'll only make a difference if it is in the period that you've selected or affects accounts that are in your build P&L. In this case, I can look at fair value adjustment of an investment, and you can also choose to change how you want to view this. I've currently been looking at monthly figures, and I also want to include just one period. I've lagged my actual and budgets column, so I would also like to lag this column and then select Add. So if I scroll down, I can see that my fair value adjustment under other income has been affected by this journal, and now I can see where that figure comes from. It could also be useful if you wanted to create an equation column where you exclude all journals from your actual figures to see what has not been processed through a journal. In the next video, I will show you how to format your build P&L and how to finish it off.